house was quiet that afternoon. Just the ticking of the clock, the soft scratching of crayons on paper, and the whispers of hope that had lived in those walls for years. Maria was in the living room watching her daughter Emma draw at the coffee table. Leo sat nearby trying to focus on his homework, but his eyes kept drifting to the door, the same way they always did. 3 years. That's how long it had been since Daniel left for deployment. 3 years of empty chairs, late-night prayers, and trying to be strong for two little souls who missed their dad more than words could say. Maria had gotten used to the ache, but she never let it win. Every night she'd whisper to them, "Daddy loves you, Daddy's coming home." What she didn't know was that today those words would finally come true. Meanwhile, Daniel stood outside their house in his uniform, the autumn air brushing against his face. His hands trembled as he held a small stuffed bunny, the same one Emma had pressed into his hands the day he left. He didn't call, he didn't text. He just knocked. A soft, steady knock, the kind that carried years of love in a single sound. Inside, Maria froze. Her heart began to race. She stood up slowly, her breath catching in her throat. Leo and Emma looked at her with wide eyes. She walked to the door, every step heavier than the last. Her fingers hesitated on the handle for a second. A single second where time seemed to stop. Then she opened it, and there he was. Daniel, the man she'd whispered about every night. His face was tired, his eyes worn from war, but they shone the moment they saw hers. Maria's breath hitched. Her hands rose to her mouth as a flood of tears burned behind her eyes. She pressed her palm against her lips, trying to shelter her tears of joy, but they fell anyway, warm and unstoppable. She laughed softly between sobs, shaking her head as if she couldn't believe what she was seeing. Daniel took one slow step forward and whispered, "I'm home." That was all it took. Maria broke into a smile so full of love it could light the whole world. She ran into his arms, her tears soaking into his uniform. His arms wrapped around her tight like he'd never let go again. The kids rushed toward him. Leo held his father's waist, gripping him like he might disappear again. Emma clung to his leg, crying and laughing at once. Daniel knelt, pulled them close, and whispered, "I missed you so much." Emma sniffled, holding up her bunny. "You brought her home," Daniel nodded. "I promised, didn't I?" That night they sat together on the couch. No words, no speeches. Just the sound of their hearts beating in the same room again. Emma slept on Daniel's chest. Leo leaned against Maria. Daniel looked at his wife and mouthed, "I'm here." She smiled through the last of her tears, the kind that tasted like joy and home.